Um, if it's a rebalancing of power and, well, first of all, I think politically the message, at least as I heard it, was a rebalancing of opportunity and development potential. And it was a very adversarial message, I think, which was being posed. It was Imperial Manila versus the countryside. So part of what troubled me from the very beginning about this entire discussion is that it seems very divisive. Rather than a discussion of how we collaborate more strongly together, it was an us versus them messaging. So I see a lot of that still right now. So instead of the types of messages that I heard from the two presenters here, it seems like a parceling of the country is the dominant sort of narrative. So hindi yung, how do we rearrange ourselves so that we collaborate more strongly into stronger economic corridors and reduce poverty more effectively? How do we share revenue so that we are more effective in channeling this, more effective in incentivizing mobilization? It is not that. So part of what I see, which is the problem on this rebalancing story, is that there are two groups basically crafting the narrative. And we are not necessarily one in crafting this. I don't know to what extent the government will really tap PIDs, for instance, and I share this very candidly. A lot of research, a lot of experience, a lot of thinking power already in this room should actually craft the narrative into this, which is how do we bind together more strongly. Our glue is weak. Part of the reason why I think we even started talking about Imperial Manila is because that glue is weak. So how do we make it stronger? And if that is what the starting point of this rebalancing, then I think this federal project will really stand a chance at being sustained. But right now, the dominant narrative seems to be how to parcel the country, what share we get, how to disempower Imperial Manila so that you don't get 80%, what should you get, 20%, 30% or so. I don't think this is hitting the key problems, and this is why we keep on asking, what is the problem if federalism is the answer? So if you ask me, the true rebalancing story would be something like, how do you continue to devolve the functions and the powers in ways that increase the islands of good governance in the country and give those islands a fighting chance to grow more strongly. Because there are, and I agree with Prof. Alex, hindi naman lahat pangit eh. Ang daming maganda na nangyari. So we should not beat ourselves up and say everything in the last 25 years after EDSA was a mistake. No, it is not. That is the wrong message to take away. So the challenge would be how to strengthen those islands, and I think this is where the narrative sort of breaks up. And so if I were to be asked on this, tap the thinking power of PIDs, expand it to the countryside. So I like the idea of making more PIDs, because I don't think half our public policies are evidence-based, nor are they being evaluated. And then start the narrative with the challenge, what are we fixing? How do we increase those islands of good governance? And make it the dominant narrative, a unifying narrative rather than a divisive narrative. That's how I would answer Prof. Popos.